This is a video on how to use the RTS5100. So if you just wanted to go to 0, you hit this clear button right here. And so that just clears any information out and makes everything 0. So when the opticians do the pre-testing, they have a little machine like this. The top numbers, the very top number is the auto refraction. The handwritten number below that is their glasses prescription, so their last manifest prescription. So what you're going to do is on this control pad, you're going to push this in button right there, and it pops up the most recent number. 84 is their last manifest, so you push last manifest, so it auto-populates this top section as last manifest. And this is a touch screen, so if you touch it, it highlights whatever you're touching. And then I'm going to push the in button again. Now we want to have it to 83, so we just turn this knob one click to 83 and we push auto refraction, and it populates the auto refraction. So now the top's last manifest, the bottom's auto refraction. Over here it's telling you what is on the screen that they're looking at. So usually when they first sit down in the chair, I touch this screen and it tells you here what it's showing up on the big screen, and that's how I check their distance VA through their glasses. So now we're ready to start the refraction. So down here you press this program button, and that way it also puts their PD in, and the PD will get transferred into their EHR as well. So all this information will get transferred into the EHR electronically when we're done. So this is where you line the patient up through the phoropter. Then you push this arrow button to make it go forward. The first thing that we check is going to be right eye sphere power. I usually isolate the middle row, and the way I do that is over here. This button right here, this top left one, isolates the middle row. If somebody can't see very well and you want them to have a bigger row, you just push up to make it a bigger or down to make it smaller. I like to check their sphere with the 20/25, assuming that they have 20/20 vision. So as normal, we just check the sphere, give us the choices. Is it better 1 or better 2? All you do is turn this knob, turn to the left adds plus, to the right adds minus. So I started out here, I called that 1, that's 2. They liked 1, so now I'm going to see if they want any more minus. Is it better 1 or 3? Turn it to the right. Oh, okay, I do like 3. So I'm not going to go any stronger than that right now, because usually the autorefractor is pretty close, within a quarter diopter. So now I hit this button to go to the next stage of the refraction. Now since there's no cylinder there, it's asking me, do you still want to check the cylinder power or just skip it? I usually still check the cylinder power, so I hit no, I just touch it. No, I don't want to skip it. And so now it goes to the cylinder power. This is a little different. Instead of giving them letters to look at, it actually gives them these dot pattern up there to look at. And we have to add some cylinder in there, so I'm going to turn the knob one click and it adds a cylinder. But so now what I do is I say, I want you to look at the little dots. They're going to be blurry, but even though they're blurry, tell me which one's better. And so here on the control panel, here is red, here is green. It tells you what it's on up here. It's on red, so I say, is it better with 1 here? I go to green, or 2 here. 1 red, to green. Let's assume they want the green. They come up here and touch 135. It changes the axis to 135. Do the same thing. 3, 4, back to 3. Okay, they still don't want the sill. They choose 3. I touch 90. Same thing. 4, 5. Okay, they don't want the sill. I touch 45. 1, 2. They kick that out as well. Now we know they don't want any sphere. I turn the knob to the left. Any sill. Kicks the sill out. I push the forward button again. Now it is wanting us to check their best VA in their right eye. So I come over here and I push the down button, and that highlights the 20/20 line. So if they can read that, it says 20/20 right there. It will also transfer that information into the EHR. It'll say, okay, with -150 they saw 20/20 in the right eye. So that, again, we don't have to manually put that in. Now we push the forward button and it goes to the left eye. Same thing, 1, 2. Can't tell any difference. We'll keep it at 1. Press forward. Since the auto refraction had some sill, it went straight to the axis power. We're going to do, and it's on green right now. Is it better with 1, 2? Oh, I love 2. Okay, let's turn it. So you always turn it towards the red if they choose red. So now 3, 4. Oh, now they're choosing green. They like 4, so let's go back to 180. Hit the forward button again now that we know their axis is 180. So the auto refractor said 0.5. I'm just going to put in 0.75 by turning the knob to the right and hit and say 1, 2. Okay, they like 2. They like the green. We're going to go down to 1/4. 3, 4. They like 4. They like red. They want, so they like it at the 50. Hit forward. It goes back to sill. I push this again to highlight the 20/20 line. If you don't want them to have the same 20/20 line, once you have a line highlighted, if you push this button, it shuffles the letters to give them new letters. And so you can shuffle them as much as you want. There. Okay, they can see that. Now here's with both eyes together. Again, I press down to highlight the 20/20 line. If you want to balance, the way I usually balance is I push this button right here so that goes back to all those letters. I do 2 clicks of plus. Then I push this L button and it isolates the left eye and it blocks off the right eye. And I go 1 extra click of plus. So now hopefully the left is going to be more blurry than the right. And I don't isolate a line, I just tell them to look at the top row, because once you isolate a line, it's going to change this 20/20 number to 20/30. It's going to think you're saying, okay, the left eye can actually only see 20/30. So I want these 20/20 numbers to transfer into the EHR, and so that's why I don't isolate a line, I just tell them to look at the top line. And so I say, is it better with your left eye on the top line? And then I just push this R button, and it switches to the right eye and includes the left eye, or better with the right. And so they'll hopefully tell me it's better with the right. So then I'll go add a plus to the right. I'll push the left and add a minus. Do the same thing. Is it better with your left? Better with your right? Now they're going to hopefully say that it was better with their left. So I'm going to go back to the left and put it back to where it was. This BIN is binocular. Now they're looking at both eyes again. Now I do isolate the bottom line and I start to add minus and have them tell me when they can see the bottom row. Let's say they can now. So then we ask, is it better with 1 more click? Yes, it is. Okay, so we stop. So that's their final distance prescription. I press the forward button again. Do you want to do near vision test? If you don't want to, you click no. If you do, you click yes, and it automatically switches to the add, and you bring down the near point card on the phoropter. it asks you if you want to add an age that they are, to just kind of quickly get a close call on where their bifocal power is. Let's say they're 60. It makes it a 175 add. As they're looking at the near card, you just kind of do whatever you want to do. Say, is it better here? And give them choices if you want, or was it better here? Again, you're just turning this knob to add plus or minus. Let's say they like 2. You're like, okay, we're done. You press the forward button again. It thinks it's done, but you have to push the forward button again.